Right on to it. First one, we're starting with Bullard. It's the first quarter. Quarterback Crew Bowman gets the snap. He avoids the sack, rolls to his right, and throwing a dime off his back foot to Sam Jordan, who squeezes that in for the early touchdown. Panthers strike first, though. They would eventually fall to Athens in that one.
Now, this one was out of Alto. Look at this handoff to Tracy Thompson. He gets hit. The ball pops out of his arms. But here's a nice little replay for you if you did not see it. It pops out of his arms into this teammate's arm. Trey Rogers. Look at that slow-mo. That's how you do it for your teammate.
Gotta have your teammates back right there. All right, we're going to, what is this? Lindale. Lions trying to answer back. Howard launches it, but it's into the hands of a soaring eagle. Interception. Aiden Warnell makes the play for Lindale as they would move on.
I love it. Top plays are always my favorite.
Always the best. Always the best. Y'all, we are just about out of time here, but we're going to continue on CBS 19 Plus. A whole other half hour of highlights, top plays, whatever y'all want. We got it. So don't go anywhere.
Absolutely.
Under the Lights on CBS 19 is sponsored by Bill Dickinson Chevrolet, Ultra Federal Credit Union, Baylor Scott and White Texas Spine and Joint Hospital, the Back Nine, and Optimum.
Good evening, East Texas. Thank you for sticking with us on CBS 19 Plus. It's still Under the Lights, but it's a late night edition now.
Absolutely.
I'm Dan Millay.
And I'm Serenity Douglas. We're super excited for our game of the week.
Yes.
Gilmer versus Center. It went down to the wire, but we're not here to tell you about it. Our very own Jimmy Searfoss. He has all the latest and the greatest. Jimmy?
Often in the opening rounds of these playoffs, you'll see some lopsided games. Some big old teams will go up against some smaller seeds, and that could have happened tonight. Gilmer's the defending champions, but it wasn't. Tonight played off like a round 3 game, or maybe even a little bit later than that. But don't take my word for it. How about the winning coach?
Well, it's huge. You got to get that first one done, and you're talking about a team in center that's like a third-round opponent. You know, this is not a normal first-round team. These guys could be winning a region in many parts of the state. So hats off to Coach Meeks and Coach Huffstetler. Those guys just did an awesome job. Center's program is really coming on. Proud of our guys for the way they battled and just kept playing the next play.
You've seen your team have some ups and downs this year. Did you learn anything about your team's resilience tonight?
Well, yes, but I've seen it all year. You know, we won earlier in the year. We had 3 games in a row that came down to the very last play of the game. So we understand what it's like to have to win big games, to be in pressure situations. The guys came up big, made plays when they had to, and we were able to finish it off.
Gilmer leaves tonight raising that gold ball after a 20-14 win. They'll be going on to round 2 here soon as the reigning champs survive another night.
Thanks so much, Jimmy. Man, I just really appreciate Coach Alan Metzel, but we got to keep on pushing right along.
Absolutely, and we're in Palestine, Texas here. We're going to find the Timpson Bears taking on the Hearn Eagles, and we're going to start out in the 3rd quarter. Well, where are the Eagles? Well, the Eagles are up 3 scores. But the Bears looking to get back into this one opening kickoff of the second half. Return man Jordan McCullister receives the ball near midfield, works his way towards the far sideline, turns on the Jets, and he is out of reach of every single Eagle defender. He's going to take this one to the house. And this game doesn't look over just yet. And that's a huge play. That's LaJordan on the sidelines taking a much-needed breather. That was a big run. Take some rest. Take some rest, pal. All right, Eagles ball here. They are looking to spoil the comeback. Quarterback Kamon Langham, he looks to pass and steps up and throws a beautiful pass to Darion Mitchell, who walks into the end zone untouched and adds to that Eagles lead, to the delight of the cheerleaders, of course. And after a short punt here, the Bears are in good field position. They're going to give it to running back J.J. Garner, who makes his way towards the sideline. He's got blockers, and he's going to use them. Bears still trying to minimize the damage, but they're still down late in this one. So let's check out where this score ended up, and actually it stayed right there. Wow, okay, so there you go. Timpson, a state champion from last year, has fallen.
They have fallen. I mean, they haven't really looked the same this season, if we're being completely honest. I don't know. It's just been tough. Like I said, it's hard, just like the Gilmer Buckeyes, to just come back and, you know, really show them what you got. And because they're missing star quarterback Terry Bussey, who's up at Texas A&M. I mean, that is the missing key. You have seen some teams bounce back, but others just not. But let's go ahead and head out to R.E. St. John Stadium in Kilgore, where it ain't football unless there's a little high stepping going on. I would love to see it. But Vider, they have the opening kick off, and that's Riley Marlowe. He takes the handoff, and he pulls his way into the end zone to put the Pirates on the board. All right, let's go ahead and see. Kilgore, they're going to try to answer, but they're going to end up kicking. That's Jimenez and boots it. 43-yard field goal. The Rangers 52, Pirates 6. Next possession, it's Kaween Reese. He takes the handoff and manages to slip through every defender there. You love to see it all the way for a touchdown. The Kilgore Bulldogs 59, Pirates 6. What is going on? I don't even know what happened in that play, if we're being completely honest. But look, on the ensuing kickoff, the Pirates are bobbling the ball. Man, and here comes Rayshawn Williams. He comes right after it. See, you can't make any mistakes in the playoffs at this point. But first play of the 4th quarter, this is David McGowan. He takes the handoff, and he bursts right through the middle for the touchdown. And it's going to be the Bulldogs 65, Pirates 6. And you guys can see the Kilgore Bulldogs 66, Vider 6. Man, that one was crazy.
Yeah, tough first round draw, those Kilgore Bulldogs.
Yeah,
absolutely.
No, absolutely.
That
one was a tough one.
Yeah.
Tough one for them. You know, we've been saying like, oh, it should be close, right? It's the playoffs. But some teams, no. We've seen Texas High. They just dominated their opponent. The Kilgore Bulldogs. I mean, it's just about having that experience going through these rounds.
True, experience certainly helps, but I mean, you never really know. We're going to check out a Thursday night game here in a minute. We're going to check out Carthage versus Spring Hill, but another Thursday night game we had was Mineola versus
Jefferson.
Jefferson, yes, thank you. Mineola came into that game 2-8 in the regular season, but it was a tie game after the first half. So,
Yeah.
you know, that's kind of maybe what I expected for all these playoff games. But, I mean, we just saw
Absolutely.
that's not the case every time. But anyway, we're going to head out to Longview, where the 9-time state champ Carthage Bulldogs are facing the Spring Hill Panthers in round 1 of the playoffs. Just mentioned, this is from last night. And we're going to see right here, Carthage starting off strong. Jet Surratt, he's going to hand it off to Benny Smith, who slides through the middle for a Bulldogs touchdown early in the first quarter. And, you know, I think it's going to look a lot like that for the rest of these highlights. Okay, Panthers with the pressure here. Travis Allen launches it to Carson Johnson, and he plays hot potato here, and he loses the ball. What a disappointment. And what a disappointment here for the Panthers. My word, he wrote that. Carthage ready to build off of it. Jet Surratt finds Caden Graves right in the end zone, leading to a 14-0 lead, to the delight of the cheerleaders. The Panthers are going to have the ball here once again. Here we go. Quentin Cutler, he's going to find space running to the left, picking up speed, putting the Panthers in great position to score. And we got a first down there just shy of the goal line. And there you go.
Well,
Okay.
there you have it.
Carthage pitched a shutout. They take it 49-0 over Spring Hill. And that game was at Spring Hill. So.
Man, that was tough, but we're going to see a whole lot more of the Thursday night games because that's what really got the playoffs started.
Set the tone.
Thursday night game, it did
Yeah.
set the tone. Absolutely. So we have had great games tonight, but we also had some great ones from Thursday. So we're going to check those out right after the break. Make sure you don't go anywhere. What's up, East Texas, and welcome back to Under the Lights. We had some great Thursday night games to just really set the tone for the Friday night games, Dan.
Yeah, we sure did. We just saw Carthage blow out Spring Hill,
Yeah,
but
we
I
did.
promise this game is going to be a lot different. And it's Jefferson versus Mineola, and we're going to have to jump right into the action. Jefferson fails to convert on 4th and goal on their opening possession, and Mineola would quickly take advantage. They make their way downfield. Here's Kipton Neighbors lobbing one up to Colton McMahon, and the Yellow Jackets lead it early. You got to keep up with me here, folks. Next Bulldogs possession. Here's the UNLV commit Cameron Williams dancing through traffic to find the end zone and tie it right back up. But like I said, y'all, next possession, I said keep up with me. Ainsley Stewart gets the short pass, turns it into a long touchdown. Mineola goes back out in front 14-7. 2-8 Mineola. Serenity jumps out in front 14-7. But we're going right back to Cameron Williams on the other side. He's making all kinds of defenders miss, staying on his feet, and he is going to find the end zone for 6. However, the extra point would miss, so Mineola still leading it 14-13 at that point. Yellow Jackets failed to score, so here's Williams punching in his 3rd touchdown of the half. Bulldogs up 20-14 after that play. And just when it looked like the first half was winding down, here's Kipton Neighbors. He switches sides of the field, and he's going to take this baby all the way to the house after making a couple defenders miss. With just 30 seconds left in the half, Serenity were all tied up at 20 entering halftime. However, the game did not continue to go that way. We're going to show the final score in a minute, but Jefferson did win it by quite a bit. And we're going to hear from Jefferson head coach Ty Taylor after the game right here.
And it was an emotional game, a lot of ups and downs, and obviously that first half was not representative of the kind of football we want to play. So once again, proud of the way our team came out in the second half and responded and overcame that, and so just really happy for these guys and happy to be moving on in round 2.
Really impressive first year. It's Ty Taylor's first year at Jefferson, and how many times have we talked about this coach's first year bad, second year things got better, but tough for him. He's 11-0 in his first trip with these Jefferson Bulldogs. They win last night 54-27, and they got Grandview next week.
I mean, and I did get a chance to speak with Coach Ty Taylor earlier in the season, and what I liked about him is that he said that his guys just locked in.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really what it's all about, locking in, and maybe you can all be successful the first year you get a new coach. You never know.
Yeah.
But let's keep on pushing to another Thursday night game. It's in the heart of Tyler. Tatum facing off with the defending state champions. That's the Malakoff Tigers. This was Parker Poteet. Welcome the Eagles to the playoffs. Bam! Right to the chest. Then the Tigers went to work. That's Mike Jones. He tosses a screen to Poteet on the other side, and he makes an easy run into the end zone for the Tigers to strike first. Now Jones is going to be back at it again. He just tucks it, and he decides to just go for it. And Tatum defenders are just going to stop and watch him take it all the way in. See you later. Malakoff up 2 scores. And to make matters a little bit worse, Tatum hits the wrong button and puts the ball on the ground. And the Tigers are all over it. And of course they secure it. Oh my gosh. And let's get right back to work. This is Jerryon Hall with the carry and the stumble into the end zone. Go ahead and flex on him. You love to see it. Remember that screen from earlier? Well, they ran it back. This time with Jason Tennyson. And he's got this one real fast. He takes a hit, but still into the end zone. And man, Tatum just looks defeated at the end there. 62-13. The Malakoff Tigers, I mean, they won state last year. We were talking about teams, they don't really know how to get with the pressure because they won state last year, and now you got to come back and try to win again. Malakoff is like, actually, I love the pressure.
They're like, no, it's fine.
I eat pressure for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah, and we just saw Timpson. They were a state champ last year from, these smaller school divisions. They fell. They had they were, right about, I think they were 1 game above 500 in the regular season. Malakoff, they were undefeated this year. So they won last year, and they just kept on winning through the regular season.
Yeah.
It looks like they're not stopping anytime soon.
And to think that their first state championship in school history was just last year.
Yeah.
I mean, they're looking like a veteran team, and I mean, that's what you love to see. You love to see that.
They've been there, even though it was just one time, they've been there before, and that that matters, like we've been saying. But we're going to keep on moving to Bullard versus Pleasant Grove. Pleasant Grove, they had an always rare home playoff game in these Texas playoffs, hosting Bullard. We're tied at 7 when we start here. Come the Hawks, though. Jared Halter finds Nick Bells on the wheel route, and he does the rest. Touchdown Hawks, and that made it 14-7. That's the score in the second quarter. Pleasant Grove threatening again. Here's Halter looking for Lance Jackson in the back of the end zone, and he makes a heck of a grab for the score. Little layup on the celebration, and it's 21-7. I love a basketball. Lay me! Oh, that was actually pretty nice. I like that. Okay. Another one on the next drive, and we're at the goal line here, and Bells finds pay dirt, and he says, pay me. Money, though, not dirt. That's not worth anything. Pleasant Grove takes this one 56-14. This is another one where Pleasant Grove had a really good regular season record. Bullard did not, so maybe you kind of saw this one coming in. But still a good effort by Bullard out there.
Absolutely, and we're going to see if the Hawks can just continue to make a playoff run. Now, this was from Friday night, so tonight, let's head over to Oro City. They host Atlanta versus Winsboro. The dancing in the cold, you love it, is going to warm you up. This is Winsboro. No, Lee Carroll with the ball. Bottom of the third, and he decides to just push forward, and Winsboro gets a touchdown. You love to see it from the Raiders. Now, Atlanta with the ball. This is quarterback Peyton Harris. Not knowing what to do, he ends up throwing the ball downfield to his buddy, Jaden Riley. He catches it, tries to make a run, but he ends up getting tackled. But here's Peyton Harris again, looking at his choices. Looks left, looks right. He sees his man all the way in the end zone, catches it while being tackled. The ref says it's in, so you know what that means. It's a touchdown. Oh, you love to see it. The Winsboro Raiders takes down Atlanta. The Rabbits have been looking good this season, but Winsboro, they know how to make a playoff run. They had a very good record just last year. They went 13-1. The only team that they lost to was the Malakoff Tigers. So Winsboro has that experience that we were just discussing, Dan. So they look good tonight.
Yeah,
sure.
and certainly the experience showed. And, not a bad effort by Atlanta, but like you said, Winsboro's been there, not quite to the top of the mountain, at least not last year, but, they put on a good performance tonight.
Absolutely. Now, look, you guys, we have some top plays right after the break, so make sure you guys don't go anywhere. You're going to want to see that.
Oh, yeah.
Under the Lights on CBS19 is sponsored by Bill Dickinson Chevrolet, Ultra Federal Credit Union, Baylor Scott and White Texas Spine and Joint Hospital, the Back Nine, and Optimum.
What's up, East Texas? Welcome back to Under the Lights Late Night Edition. Thank you for sticking by. Dan and I, this is the first round of playoffs, and it is just about coming to an end, but we got the top plays.
Yeah, I'm excited for these top plays. First top plays of the playoffs. So, if you thought the regular season top plays were good, I feel like they're just going to blow us away.
They're superior. They have to be.
They have to be. They just have to be. All right, well, we got to get right into it. And we're starting out with Art. The Tigers' Thomas McKelvey is here. He's going to search for a minute and find DeMarcus Wade on the 50 for a Tigers first down, just slinging that thing towards the sideline. Big catch and a big top play.
You love to see it. Let's head out to one of the smaller schools. Grand Saline, that's quarterback Jet Taylor scanning the field. He finds Colton Prox near the end zone. It was just beautiful. Right over his head. Nice grab. Beautiful catch. No notes. You love to see it. And that's why it's a top play.
No notes at all. No notes out of it. Troop has the ball down in their own territory here. Quarterback Bryce Wallen, player of the league. He's going to get the snap and take it himself. Okay, Serenity, this is the one we saw before, and I was thinking to myself, if this is not a top play, I don't know what it is. Watch him just switch sides of the field, and look at his teammate. He's like, go, Bryce,
defenders.
go. He's just being chased by a sea of white, but they cannot catch up. That is a huge run for Bryce Wallen, and that's a top play.
Man, Bryce has just been killing it. But let's take it out to Timpson. All right, let's go ahead and see what they can do here. It's LaJordan McAllister. He's the receiver. He runs it all the way back. Oh, my goodness. I mean, Timpson didn't end up winning this game, but that was a beautiful play, okay? Look at him. He is gassed.
Yeah, I mean, and he deserves a little break after that. That was quite the run. We're going to round things out with a little brotherly love here. How about it? We're at Rose Stadium here. This is Van taking on This is Van taking on Athens, thank you, Serenity. Jackson Moffitt to Austin Moffitt, the brothers connection, the spinning, whirling dervish celebration. And it's just it's a top play. It's top play material like that.
You love to see it. They're the twins at that.
Yeah.
And then they're coached by their dad.
Crazy.
I mean,
it's crazy how much of that there is in East Texas, though.
There's
so much of that going on.
It's a family affair.
Cool. Yeah, it's awesome.
It's a family affair. But let's go ahead and take a look back at all of the biggest scores from our very, very busy night of football. First round of playoffs at that. Van versus Athens. We just saw that top play. It was 38-30. The Vandals are going to keep on going. Bridge City versus Pine Tree. Pine Tree, this is their first year in this district, and they have just been killing it. 35-28. Grand Saline and Hooks. Look at that score. Wow. 68-27 over Hooks. And then Woodville versus ARP. It has just hurt to see the ARP Tigers go down. 49-12.
Moving on, we got Beckville. They took down Rivercrest 56-28. So doubling up, even a little quick math there, doubling up Rivercrest Beckville did. Troop took down Anderson Shiro 35-6, and we saw that ridiculous top play from Bryce Wallen. I'm going to rank the top plays this weekend, and that has a decent shot to get number one. I'm telling you right now.
Absolutely.
New Diana, they took down New Waverly 43-21. And rounding us out, Kilgore, they dominated Vidor 66-6.
Man, the Bulldogs have just been looking really, really good this year as well. I want to say my biggest shock was Troop. Troop and Anderson Shiro 35-6, but
yeah,
I mean, Bryce Wallen has been looking great.
Yeah, and because Anderson Shiro came into that game tonight 8-2, and Troop was just 7-3. But I mean, we think of Troop as one of the great, maybe one of the better teams out here in East Texas. So I wouldn't say I'm surprised to see them move on, but they did have a tough first round matchup. So.
No, absolutely. All right, that was all for our first round of playoffs coverage. Thanks so much for joining us for Under the Lights. We will see you again next week. Good night and stay safe.